Hello Libra, thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Art Nouveau Tarot by Matt Myers. I almost said his name before it. No, Matt Myers is the guy for Art Nouveau Tarot. Supportive Oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. I'm a little excited about this reading, and I'm like, why? I don't even have the cards out yet. I mean, I shuffled them already, but still, like, why are we excited? Ooh, there's a lot of cards. A lot of cards. Okay. Okay, okay. One more pushing out from the bottom. Alright, I can't see them all. They're... What's up with this? Okay. Okay. I think we like this. I have to be honest, I'm still excited about it, but the cards, I'm like, we gotta see how this plays out, because I'm definitely one of those people. Your outcome. Outcome, cool. Getting there, let's see what happens. So, just to be honest, I'm coming forward and I'm feeling like we're gonna hit a bump, and it's gonna be rough. But when you get to the other side, I really feel like this is going to be one of those situations that once you get to the other side, it was like, okay, this was all well worth it. And I think we all know at this point, we all get to that point in life, like just because you go through a hard time doesn't mean you get to the other side and you're like, whew. Like sometimes we go through hard times and then once it's all over, we're just kind of like, I don't even understand what the deal was. This is not going to be one of those, but this looks like it's going to go well at least. When you start into this situation, Three of Cups, King of Fire, we'll just call it the King of Fire, it says King of Staves, and the Six of Coins. This is a situation at one point, you do feel like you have it under control. Not in the sense of like your, for example, if this is a work situation, I don't feel like you might be a manager or something like that, but this is not dependent on that. It's not where I'm going with it. It's kind of like whatever's going on around you, whatever's happening here or there, you feel like you're in a position where you know what's going on, you know how to deal with it, you know what you need to do to make the outcome go where you want the outcome to go. So you don't have to be literally in a position of power, but you're in a place where I got this. I know how that works, I know how this works, I know how to work this together, I know how to get things to go where I want them to go. So it's not like somebody, you're not dependent on somebody giving you power. You've given yourself the power to be like, I understand how this is rolling. You could literally be in an entry position and be like, okay, yeah, I want to get there and I know what I need to do to get there and I am very confident I will make that happen. Cool beans, all's good. So you're in a personal power moment. You literally could be in management, yes, I get that. But this is not dependent on you being in a role that you have power, for example. Okay, because I didn't talk about that long enough. Three of Cups, but you're very, see, this is a great card. This is one of the reasons you feel that way. This is a balance card, give and take. I put in effort, I get out effort. You should be, I feel like a lot of Libras are, you should be in that place that you're like, you know what? Just because I put in effort doesn't mean I get out. I gotta know where to put in the effort to get what I want out. And that's kind of the bonus here. Like, you're very well aware it's not just about putting your effort in and getting the said effort out. It's like knowing where and when to do what I need to do to get what I want. So that's the whole thing. That's a lot going on here. You seem to be in a very strong moment. We keep talking about it. Like, am I missing something? Because it's not just about give and take. It's like knowing when and where. And then knowing when and where to get out. Okay. All this mess of face-down cards. Which face-down cards usually talk about unexpected elements. Something unexpected. This is like when, you know, you're expecting somebody to pick you up from work and they don't show up and you find out they got in a car accident. Like, that's unexpected, in my opinion. Because I already hear people saying, well, yeah, I know how they drive. It's not what I'm saying. Whew. lot coming in here at once. The Empress, the focus, sovereignty, will, hunger, change. Change. Change is really... This is like... Alright, this is obviously a big piece of this. Obviously. But this is like... why I'm really stuck on this card to start with. This is change... This is a change, for example, if you were living with someone else and they, for example, if you live in somebody's house with them and they lose their job and you can't afford to pay their part of, you can't pay their way. This change, that's that type of change. Like, it's almost like you're going to have to move and you have no control over this. Something is happening outside of the situation. It's almost like somebody, their job, their company shuts their doors. They lose their job, so they don't have money coming in. They can't afford this home anymore, so they have to get rid of it. Thus, you have to now move. Like, that's how far out this change is. It's like you have no ability to affect this change and what's happening. It's just happening. So this change is so external, but it has a direct impact on you. Like, literally somebody else lost their job, but because they lost their job, they can't do this. Because they can't do this, then you have to do that. Like, it's like that type of thing. So that change is way out there, but it's kind of like it has a very heavy impact on you. It's causing issues. The change is making people very worried. People around you are getting very upset. This is the person that's affecting you. The change is happening to them, causing issues for them, causing the hunger card where they're just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to change things. I got to deal with this. I got to make, due to that change, I got to make change. A lot of stress with this. A lot of stress. Focus, sovereignty, and will. This is somebody trying to figure out what they need to do next. Now, you do have an influence about what they do next. It's kind of like, okay, now we got to get rid of this. We got to sell the house. We have no choice. But you have an influence about, well, if we're leaving this house, where do we go next? You have influence there. Now that you've lost that job, now that you can't afford this house anymore, here's what we can do. You can help them work that level out, that part of this out. And you do have the masculine. And I've noticed this, I've learned more about this card. The more I use it, the more I feel it. The optimal energy of the masculine card is to have the control and strength to let go of control and give someone else strength. It's to share the strength. It's kind of like, that's the optimal of the masculine. Like, this is what's going on. This is the strength I have to hold together. This is what I need to do. And having that strength to, like, give that strength to someone else. Give that control to someone else and say, listen, this is how far I can take it. Now I need you to go forward with this, and I will help you and stand with you, and I will lend you my strength to get you to help you move forward. That's your contribution to this. You are helping this person. It does say gratitude, and gratitude is here. That's great. But if you see the two hands, you're showing this person how much you appreciate them, and you're giving them, you're lending them your strength to move them forward. This is a great thing. Whoever this is means a lot to you. You have the Empress card. You're pushing things forward. The Empress card, the optimal energy with the Empress card is like not only to take care of others, but to take care of themselves and realize by taking care of themselves, they therefore can take care of others. If they neglect themselves, sooner or later things are going to fall apart and they're going to get stuck. They're going to get sick at the very least. And they're not going to be able to take care of others. So to take care of others, they need to take care of themselves. There's a mutual taking care of, like whoever this is that's going through this rough moment that's unexpected, they're very important to you, but they affect your quality of life is what I'm getting. So you're helping them move forward. You're lending them your strength. Very good. Very unexpected. Now the very good is how you're handling it. The situation I don't feel like is a fun situation. The very good is how you're handling it. So I feel like this is one of those moments where you might even shock yourself how well you do. You're like, wow, I'm pretty good at that. I think you're doing really well with that. Really do. Like, you're human, remember that. So perfection is not really an option, but you're doing extremely well. Okay, the next thing. Dependency. Dependency, overcoming obstacles, and justice. Now, the first card here is the Two of Wands, right? It's the Two of Pentacles. But I'm one of those people that I really feel the card out. And I'm like, somebody seems to be really dependent on making their next move forward. We got to be careful of this. Got to be careful of this. Make sure people have to think out their own situation and they have to make their own decision on what to do next. If you make a decision for somebody else in their best interest, you then own their karma, and you will then have to pay up on some of that karma. This is a decision that this other person is supposed to make. You can work through it, talk through it with them. Do not let them have you make the decision for them. If you make that decision for them, you will own part of their karma, and you will have to pay back part of that karma. Think of it that way. Whatever the situation is, they're the ones who are supposed to make their own decision. Talk it out with them, give them options, show them how you're seeing it, show them all the different ways you can see this going, but ultimately remind them, whatever they choose, that's on them. They have to decide what's right for them. Don't let them put you in a position where you're making a choice for them. Be careful of that. Because a choice has to be made, a choice that's going to stick around. But I'm getting like a dependency. Like, don't own their karma. That's not a good idea. I wouldn't do it. They have to overcome these obstacles, but justice is here. There's something about the justice saying, whatever they're choosing, there's going to be a balance to. So there's going to be some good and there's going to be some bad. But justice will prevail, whatever that means. So there's going to be some good and some bad. If you make this decision for them, you're going to own some of that. You're going to get some of that back, because that's what they're going to get. Whatever the choices they're going to make, there's going to be some good and there's going to be some bad. They're going to make some right moves. They're going to make some incorrect moves based on what's going on around them, based on how they're feeling about what's going on around them. Give them information. Talk out what you're seeing. Talk out. Don't tell them, based on what I'm seeing, this is what I would do. Do not do that. Show them, like, well, if you go this way, I can see it working that way, but I could also see you having some issues here. If you go this way, I can see it going that way, but I can see you having some issues here. And remind them, you have to decide what you can live with and what you want to do with it. Do not get caught in that trap. I'm just warning you. Do what you got to do, but, make them own their own decision. They have to own their own decision. You got the Knight of Coins. What comes after? Yeah. Knight of Coins. I'll talk about that card behind it in a second. And then over here, you're going to end up with the Three of Pentacles with the Four of Swords. Now, what's behind the Knight of Coins? The Tower card. There's going to be fallout. Something here, there's going to be fallout. There's no way around it. With the Tower showing up behind the Knight of Coins, they're warning you. There will be fallout. Something here is there's going to be some type of fallout. There will. That is why you need this person to own their own decision. Because I feel like this is just like giving somebody advice, and then something goes wrong, and they're going to be looking for somebody to blame. Even if it's not normal for this person, it's just it's going to go that way. I'm telling you, if you make the decision for them, or they can perceive it as if you did, I just feel like you're going to get some backlash from it. This is not for you to own. That's why you've got to keep reminding them. They have to decide what's right for them. They have to decide what they can live with. You don't want to own any of this karma, because it will have a backlash. It will. And it's not expected. That's the tower. The tower. People don't build a tower expecting it to fall over. It just does. You know what I mean? Something was wrong with it. Something maybe not easily seen. Keep that in mind. There's going to be healing from this that happens afterwards, and a lot of work that needs to happen here to make this healing happen. You will be a part of that either way, yes. But if you're a part of this in a place where you help them, you said this is what I see and this is why I would do what I would. You don't want to say that. I would do this. You don't want to do that. I can see it going good. I can see it going bad. If you go that way, I can see if you go this way, this could be the good. This could be the bad. Like, just being honest. Like, maybe that's the lesser of the two evils, but always remind them. You have to live with this outcome. You have to live with this decision. It's up to you to make the final decision. It's up to them to make that final decision. because you will be a part of the healing process, but I feel like it confuses things and convolutes it, or makes it confusing if you have to deal with the karma of the situation. Because there's going to be a lot of work to pull out of this. There's going to be a lot of work to make the healing happen. And we don't want this to get confused where they're trying to blame you for part of it. And I feel like you might be like, well, that's not normally what they would do. Well, the situation might get a little bit rough. So, because it might get really rough. The outcome is not one that this person wants. Whatever the outcome is, they do not want it with the Five of Cups. It's not all bad with the Five of Cups, but they don't like what's happening. It's kind of like, you know, you saved $100, you got to keep 42 of it. But I wanted the whole 100. Well, at least you got 42. But it's like, but I lost, I lost 58 of it. That's the majority of it. And somebody's looking at it that way, like, I lost all that money. You gotta not be up. That's why you don't want to be connected with it. They're gonna see the Five of Pentacles too. Is like, it's a loss that they can't get over. They're having a hard time getting over this loss. Whatever goes south, it's going to drag on. They're going to have a hard time. They're just going to constantly feel like, oh, if I only made the other decision. Whatever the decision is, I feel like that's where this is going. Whatever they choose to do, they're going to constantly be like, oh, I wish I went the other way. I wish I went the other way. That's why you don't want to. You got to keep reminding them they own the decision. They have to be happy with, or decide for themselves what they want to do. It's going to linger on too, because I feel like when I get the Six of Cups added in with it, even beyond that, Six of Cups is a very interesting card the way I read it, to be fair. It's not only about the past, sometimes it's about something that's going to linger on to the future, and somebody's going to look back at this moment constantly and they're going to keep thinking about this moment constantly. Like, it's going to be one of those moments that they keep looking back, oh, that moment, if I had only. You know what I mean? That's why you don't want to own this karma. That's why I'm saying that a lot. For this moment to heal and move forward, this other person has to accept their karma, whatever that is. Like, they chose something to move forward. They have to accept it, come to peace with it, so they can create a new future. Like, literally, the acceptance card here is coming in with creation. They can't heal this. They can't move on from this until they accept it. It's like, for me, when I was in my 20s, my early 20s, I created a bill. It wasn't bad. Like, nobody did anything wrong, but I spent money I really shouldn't have spent. And no bills got behind. So it's just basically I took out a loan and then I wasted it, basically what it was. I couldn't start paying that down until I accepted that I made the mistake, and I stopped doing that. I had to get my finances under control. Then I spent a decade paying it off. Long story short. And I had to accept I did that to me. I had to also accept I was not getting myself out of that until I accepted that my way I was living was creating more of that. And I didn't like it. So then I put myself together and I spent a decade getting myself out of it, and then I got myself out of it. It's over. Actually, now it's completely over. So I paid that off. Nobody, nothing got behind, but I had to tighten in my belt for a decade on certain things because of that. This is that person also. They have to accept, I don't like this situation. I want it to change. I'm going to have to accept the responsibility for it and start moving towards a way to make my life different so I can get myself out of that, so I can create a better future. There's resistance on your side with the surrender. They have to come to terms with this. They do. You don't get roped into this. Help. Give ideas, give possibilities, show possibilities. Be careful, again, because I feel like they're going to try to, this is what's going to delay this, is them trying to get answers from you. Almost like, help me do this for me, almost like, you tell me what I need to do and I'll do it. Don't do that. Resist, okay, like, because I'm getting like, the way that feels, I'm kind of like resist like the negativity, resist being pulled into this, resist being sucked into this karma, because it's hard. I feel like it's hard because it's almost like somebody wants you to save them and you're like, okay, I could try. No. Resist making the decision for this person. Talk out possibilities. Talk out, this could go good this way, it could not go so good this way. Just be that balance is your thing. Show them the balance. Like, they have to live with the outcome. They have to decide what's right for them. The only way they're going to spiritually evolve is for them to decide what's right for them. Surrender in the sense of, like, realize it's up to them to accept their situation. You can show possibilities, but they have to choose and create it themselves. Show possibilities, but resist being pulled in. Resist. Because the next thing, whatever they do to fix this or create a new situation, they have to own it with the Ace of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is telling me, it's like, they have to look at this like, one day I would be very happy when I get there. Because it's kind of like, what they do today is going to definitely create their tomorrow. I mean, obviously. But this is something that's going to last a long time. I think that's why I gave my analogy, or my history of like that 10-year thing. It's a long haul situation. Something they have to commit to. They have to be committed to it. This is something they have to live with for a long time. So whatever that is, I feel like they are going to have to live with it for a long time. This is something for you to support. Just don't make decisions, and remind them they're in control of it. They have to live with this. They have to make those decisions. Again, I feel this really strongly, and I just feel like you definitely have best of intentions, but this is not karma for you to own. Be careful. Just be careful. This is going to work out. Things are going to get better. Okay? Four of Wands, abundance. Things with you and this person will stabilize. But another thing with the karma thing, you know what I mean? If you end up getting tied into their karma, there will be a very rough moment, and it may take some time, very rocky road for a little while. It will smooth back out and be okay. But the thing is, I do feel like I do feel like it's an option. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to go down that rocky road. You know what I mean? You don't have to. No, I've had these conversations with people before, kind of like, that's a lot of spiritual advancement if you do. But it's also kind of like the idea of going to college and cramming 2 semesters worth of work into 1 semester. You don't need to do that to yourself. You don't have to make things that heavy for yourself. Don't worry. You have plenty enough lessons to learn through life. You don't need to add more to it. You are doing great the way you are. You don't have to add to the workload. Don't do that to yourself. So if you want to add that extra, it is going to be a tough course. It's not going to be like the easy fluff course going through college. No, this is going to be one of those major, intensive, gotta have your experience, gotta have gotta have both feet on the ground, pay attention, gotta have your focus. Took me long enough to get there. So you don't have to do that. I mean, yeah, if you do that, there'll be a lot of spiritual advancement. You just don't have to cram 2 semesters worth of work into 1 semester. You don't have to do that. If you decide that's for you, then you decide that's for you. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.